What's up, everybody? This is Justin Flinner coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the Justin Flinner Podcast by My Mentor Medicine. In today's podcast, I want to start by asking you a question. What's your plan? Right now, summer's coming to an end. We see the month of August being probably a slow month for a lot of people in their work and their lives. Lots of people heading off to do their vacations, enjoy times with their families. Maybe the end of the fiscal year just happened during the summer for you, and it's a little bit of a slow time to get started into the new year. Maybe it's time for you to spend those last few weeks with your children before they head off to school or head back to college. Wherever you are, this is a point of transition. This is the point where one cycle is coming to a close and a new cycle will begin very soon. Just recently I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk online, and he was talking about the month of August. You know, a lot of people, they take time for themselves, they take time for their families, but in a way they're sort of wasting the time for what it is they want to accomplish in life. It doesn't mean that spending your time is a form of wasting your time. Especially when it's with the people that you love. It simply means that, are you using your time constructively, or are you going to go back to the same environment that you were so eager to leave and go on vacation from without a new approach, without a new idea, without a new plan? The common practice, if you want to call it that, is you work hard throughout the year. Maybe you get only a few vacation days per year or a few weeks of vacation per year. And you spend them all around the summertime so that you can go to the beach or go some other place that's exotic, whatever it might be, wherever it is that you like to go. You take time away from your work. And many people do it for the reason that they feel that they have earned it. They feel that they are overly stressed. They feel that they need a break. They feel that they need to get away from it all and escape. I mean, you build a life in one location. You build a life. You buy a home. You have a family. You learn the area. You find the best restaurants around where you live. You find a job that provides you with an income, that provides you with certain benefits, and yet you want to escape from it? To me, this is completely foreign. I don't understand this. You work hard to get to where you are, but you want to escape from where you are. This is a foreign concept to me, and I still can't grasp to this day why people are doing this. You go on vacation, yes, to enjoy yourself, to spend time with other people, but you should also be looking forward to what is going to be there when you return. How will you be different when you come back from your vacation? What is it that you are preparing yourself for? What's your new plan? So you go on vacation. This is a time for you, yes, to reset, to recharge. But for what? So that you can get back to the same desk, the same chair, the same environment that causes you the stress in the first place? That's crazy. Why on earth would you repetitively put your hand on a hot stove and say, ow, that's hot? So you take it off so that you can rest, and then put it back on the same stove and say, ow, that's hot, and repeat the process year after year, vacation after vacation, break after break. That is insanity. What we should be doing when we take this time away from where it is that we are supposedly stressed or overwhelmed or whatever adjective you want to put on the workplace, because in fact, I mean, that's the environment we create for ourselves. What we should be doing when it is that we want to escape from these places is preparing for a new way to be in these locations, in our work, in our lives. If we're carting our kids from one location to the other during the school year, now that summer break is over and they've been off to their camps and they've come home, or they have had their summer job and then they come back and now they're going back to college, the things that we should be doing when we're taking the breaks before we have these transitions in our lives is to plan for what comes next. That's one of the things that I always do for myself is I always ask, what's next? It's the most important question that you can ask yourself every single day. What's next? You complete something. What's next? You finish a task. What's next? You finish a job. What's next? You move on to the next stage of your career. You end one stage, you're ready to begin another. What's next? You get to your vacation spot. What's next? You are leaving your vacation spot and coming back to, quote unquote, the real world. What's next? Your kids go off to school. What's next? We should always be asking ourselves what comes next, and we should not be worried about it. We should be excited about it. The fact that you don't know what's going to happen next in your life should be the most exciting thing you should ever experience in all of your life, every single time it comes up. And on top of this, we should never create the opportunity in our lives where we look back and regret not using the time the way that we could have. We look back on our lives and we say, you know what? I wasted that entire year of my life. I did not put my energy where I know I should have. What the heck is wrong with me? Why didn't I do that? The more you focus on the past is the less you will be able to put into the future. Focus on what you have right now. Forget about what you didn't do and focus on what you can do and what you will do. This is where planning is crucial. And the easiest way to get started if you're not sure what to plan or how to plan is have at least one goal in mind. At least one. It can be big, it can be small, but it must fit these basic parameters. You probably have heard it time and time again, but that's because it works. SMART goals. S-M-A-R-T. Specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable, and time sensitive or time bound. When your goals are specific, you know exactly where you want to end up. When your goals are measurable, you can monitor your progress from start to finish. When your goals are attainable and achievable, you know that you're not reaching too far. You know you're not going to be pushing yourself beyond where you should be. When your goals are realistic, you know it's not something that's shooting way past where you possibly can right now. You're not saying, okay, in the next 30 seconds, I want to make $5 million. Unless you have the means to do so, chances are that's not going to happen in the next 30 seconds unless you win the lottery. Your goals must be time sensitive or time bound. If you don't place your goals and how you will achieve them inside of a time frame, how will you hold yourself accountable? Perhaps that's another word that could be substituted for achievable or attainable, is accountable. We should hold ourselves accountable for every action that we take. First and foremost, though, you must plan, and you must plan well. So if you are, in fact, sitting on the beach listening to this podcast, or if you are preparing for your vacation before you go off to the next stage of your life, or if you're taking a break from where you are right now, or if you're about to go back to college, whatever stage or whatever transition you are in your life right now, plan for what comes next. That is exactly what we should be doing every chance we get when we know that we're finishing one stage and we're going to be going off to the next stage. When you're leaving work for your vacation and you will be back in a week or two or more, knowing exactly what you want to achieve in your life does not mean that you know exactly how your life should be planned out. We all have goals that we want to achieve. We all have something that we are passionate about. We all have an idea of what it is that we want to accomplish, either for ourselves, for our families, our children, our friends, our workplace. We have some kind of direction that we are moving in our life. And the road that we travel on is constantly changing. We cannot see around every corner, but we can see the corners. And those are your transition points. So plan for how you're going to move around that corner. And then what comes next after that corner? Probably a new one. So at least you can plan for right now. Do not spend your time examining the past to see what it is that you did wrong. Focus on what you can do now and what you will do later. Hold yourself accountable to these SMART goals. Make them specific, make them measurable, make them attainable, make them realistic and time-bound, so that you know that you are accountable for yourself and everything that you achieve in your life. So I ask you one more time, what's your plan? Now's the time to start planning. That's it for this week's podcast. I'm Justin Flinner, and this is the Justin Flinner Podcast by My Mentor Medicine. I'll see you all next week. This podcast is brought to you by My Mentor Medicine, an organization that is dedicated to helping people improve their lives by learning to empower themselves and take control of their own life. Any form of reproduction or distribution of this podcast is strictly prohibited. Should you have any questions on using this podcast or information that is contained within this podcast, please write to info@mymetromedicine.com.